Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes.
Yeah.
Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us, the BLPA, on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. I told you that we were going to record more episodes, and here we are recording just a couple days later because that's what we do. We got me, and we got my buddy Jason. Jason, what's going on?
What up, Nick?
Not much. As I told you, I'm really in our state-of-the-art high-tech recording studio here at my house in Calgary, Alberta, and that is, I have all the seats laid down in my Explorer. I'm in the back hatch laid down using hockey jerseys as pillows. The garage is closed, and I'm recording. I mean, we really do spare no expense to bring these shows to you, and I hope you guys appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, people were asking for more recordings, and you do whatever it takes. I'm also in the car, but I am driving home on my now hour commute to the rink for Beer League at 11 o'clock on a Monday.
Oh, that's crazy because speaking of beer leagues, you weren't playing due to an injury. And, this came to light that you were actually playing in another beer league. Frank, who we talk about on the regular, he brought some heat on Twitter, throwing out some pretty hefty accusations. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about a couple upcoming dexes. We're going to talk about some charity work that the BLPA group has done that I'm really proud of. Not proud I am proud that it was done, but proud that this group was created to make this possible. And then I want to talk about GoPros. But first, this show is brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow. Listen, Hockey Wolf, the guys at Hockey Wolf, they're just beer leaguers just like you and me and all the people that are listening. I would assume if they're listening to the BLPA Big Show that they would be beer leaguers. And they're trying to make the game more affordable, not just hockey, lacrosse, other beer league sports. But you can go to their site, BLPA. You can go to their site, HockeyWolf.com, and you can get some great deals on not only equipment, but also team apparel. They even have some BLPA stuff that we don't have. So go check them out, HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow. Hey, Jason, can you believe that we did a whole episode and I said I'd sell out and not one company contacted me to even give me an offer to sell out?
That is shocking. I mean, what are they even listening for? If you're going to throw that out, why are they even listening?
I mean, I literally gave them the opportunity.
Yeah. Crazy. And we know they're listening, so I just can't figure out why if they're not going to jump on that opportunity.
I know 1,000,000% that they are listening. And I don't understand why they would not jump in, but we're still waiting. But you can find us at the BLPA. That's the whole kit and caboodle, the whole shebang. And you can find me at Nicker Jones on Twitter and the Nicker Jones on Instagram. You can find Jason over at Beer League Jason on Twitter. What do you want to start with here? I mean, I'd love to talk about Dex because it is Dex week, and we're going to Vegas. You'll be there. I'll be there. Money lining all weekend long for sure. But yeah. I mean, we have to address the stone cold callouts that you got on Twitter. Like, we just have to.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'll first say, shout out to Frank for finally listening to an episode. My best friend, I consider my best friend. You're good buddies with him.
Yep.
But, he finally tuned in over the weekend and listened to an episode. So shout out to Frank for that. But then he came super hard at me on the Lord's Day, too, on a Sunday. I was trying to just sit at home, money lining, watching some football.
Money lining.
And Frank, that's right. And Frank came at me hard. So I definitely gotta address, what was said and my rebuttal to those tweets.
Yeah, let me pull them up. I mean, we got the technology here. We got the technology in this state-of-the-art studio to be able to pull up Twitter while we are recording. But anyway, let me pull it up. I mean, it all started. I think, because we were talking about or I did tell him, like, Frank, we talk about you all the time. Can you not go Patreon us or something? And then he just basically said, you know what? I'll need to listen to a few. I have about 15 flights over the next couple weeks. Perfect timing. And then literally not 20 minutes later, he said, wow, just listen to the Beer League Jason quote, injury, unquote, episode. What a ridiculously lopsided version of that story, beginning to end. And then he went on to say, since I don't have the global reach of a podcast, I will make my points here. I like that. He was kind of giving it up to us because he knows that we do have some reach. He said the quote, unquote, injury, we'll address the quotes later, happened on a hockey play, all caps on hockey play. I have played with and against Jason. We have played against each other hundreds of times. No doubt he knew, based on my style of play, that I was coming, and he had ample opportunity to get back out of the play. He did not. Then he goes on to say, I mean, this is pretty damning right here. 2, Beer League Jason backed out of the team season without any advance notice to me. Until I was helping him move and was in the middle of carrying his gigantic love sack. Not what you think it is. I've been on that love sack. I nor the league have seen a shred of evidence that a medical professional has actually diagnosed Jason with anything more than hurt feelings. And this is the big one. Last, strap in. While bailing out on my team due to the quote-unquote season-ending injury, he's still playing in another league and dominating the score sheets. Frank goes on to say, I expect a full retraction on the next podcast or I will be forced to take the next steps. And I said, hey, I said, we'll talk about it on the show. And his last response was, the show, ? You mean the Den of Lies. So, I mean, those are some pretty robust allegations against you, my friend. So do you care to answer them, or maybe you don't? Maybe you plead the fifth. Maybe Frank is right. I don't know. I'm just the middleman, and I'm here to get to the bottom of this and find justice for the party that deserves it.
Okay, and that's fair, and I can appreciate that. And yes, I do want to rebuttal, and there's several points as you read through there that I want to key in on and make sure that we're all on the same page with what happened.
Yes.
First off, injury with quotation marks, and then he goes on to say at the very end, no evidence that I saw a medical professional. I did go see a doctor. Not only did I go see a doctor, I went and saw a Canadian doctor who plays hockey.
That's the top of the chain.
I don't know how much more official it gets, but this guy played B League in Beer League down here in Nashville for a long time. He's a little bit older now, so he doesn't play. He said his kids play. But his name is Dr. Cameron Shear in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Frank is welcome to his office anytime. I'll even put him on that form that says that they can release my medical records to him if he feels that way. So I will go down there and fill it out. He can go get copies of them if he would like.
So
that's point number one.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Answer point number one, you've told Frank that this is what you'll do. If Frank doesn't reject it, my question is, Frank, what do you need? Do you need Dr. Fauci to vouch for this? Fauci's high up. Like, he's the top of the doctor chain, I think. So, sure. I mean, I don't know if this needs to go that far, but I think with the gravitas of our show and our organization, we could probably get Dr. Fauci on to vouch if needed.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening. So, Fauci, we may need you soon.
We may need you. You're called into action again. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
All right, second point that I want to address. He says it was a hockey play. He is a goalie, and he met me on the board damn near the blue line. I don't know what hockey Frank's been playing, and he's right. I have played with him a long time. I know the kind of player he is, but that doesn't make it right. I mean, the next time someone comes barreling through the blue ice and runs him over, I'm just going to be like, hey, bud, you know how that guy plays, and you stood in the blue lights anyway. What do you want me to do? Like, that's how that guy plays.
To be fair, because I am an impartial a mediator of this situation. He did do it playing hockey, so it was a hockey play.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, you are correct on your observation that most goalies aren't playing near the blue line.
Right.
Okay.
So I feel like that's pretty good enough to say that, calling it a quote hockey play is a little bit of a stretch. Yes, we were playing hockey, still probably not the right play for a goalie there. Third point, he mentioned he was right. I did not give him notice that I was bailing on the team until he was carrying my love sack down the steps, helping me move. That is 100% correct.
Okay.
However, I hadn't been to the doctor until the day before, and that day was when the doctor said, you probably should try to take a season off. If you can't take a whole season, you at least need to wait a month, and then maybe you can ease back in. So I had just found out it was time for sign-ups, and I told him literally the day after I found out. It just happened to be really close to sign-ups because that's when I could get into the doctor with my schedule. So, apologize for it being late, but at the same time, I just found out. I told him, almost as soon as I got the news.
And to clarify, the love sack is not what you think it is. The love sack is a very large beanbag bed. I've slept on it on multiple nights. Actually, it's very comfortable. But
yeah.
What was the reasoning of not telling him until you were carrying something heavy? So he could so he couldn't throw punches, or what was that reasoning? I mean, that's smart. Because Frank can scrap, so I understand that if that's the reasoning, and you got to play smart, not hard. So what was that reasoning?
So I was in the middle of a move, as I said, and I was also working a lot, and really it had just slipped my mind. And then he was like, "Oh, we've got a game on Wednesday." As we were carrying the love sack down the steps, and I said, "Oh no, you have a game on Wednesday." I've been told that I can't play this season, so I don't have a game on Wednesday.
And he couldn't throw punches because he had his hands full of love sack.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's right. And I made sure he was on the bottom of the steps, so he couldn't just drop the love sack on me. He had to just continue carrying it.
Yeah,
so
that's smart.
It did work out in my favor, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
So it's great. So like the number one way when you have a difficult conversation is, one, you should either take them to a public crowded place so they can't cause a scene, or two, ask them to help you move, make them carry the heaviest thing, make sure they're walking downstairs so they can't drop it and they can't throw punches at you. That's the two ways to have important conversations.
100%, for sure.
Okay, now the last and maybe the most damning part of this. Like I'm behind the first 3 points. I feel you've made very valid points on the first three. But the fourth one, when he points out, but the season-ending injury caused him to bail on my team, but yet he's out playing in another league and he scored 2 goals a game, basically playing for this other league.
Yeah. So I listen. I've always got reasoning for anything I do. Mm-hmm. So just like the other 3 points, I have my reason here. So the other league that I am quote playing in is at a different rink than the league that we play in together, and their seasons are on different schedules. So when it came time to sign up for this league, I did, and this was prior to getting injured. So I'd already paid for the season prior to the injury.
Okay.
When the injury happened, the doctor, as I said, told me I needed to take probably a whole season off, but if not, I needed to take at least a month off, and then I could probably ease my way back in. So I missed the first 4 games that this team played, even though I paid for the season, and I played the last 3, the third one being tonight. So I, one, had already paid. It was already signed up and paid. And I missed half of it because of the injury, and I'm trying to ease my way back into hockey. And I can tell you, even tonight, the hand still hurts when I'm playing. It's getting better each week. But I wouldn't have played at all if I hadn't already signed up and paid for the season.
That seems fair. I mean, the ball's now in Frank's court. I mean, you've explained yourself diligently and quite well. You're very well spoken about the situation, which leads me to believe that it's not a lie, or unless you just have been rehearsing this in the mirror all day. I don't know. But I guess the question remains, did you score 2 goals again tonight?
I did not. I only scored 1 tonight.
Hurting the old average.
Yeah. Yeah, we lost 9-6, and I think I was a -8. So,
nice.
When he says tearing up the league, we might want to pump the brakes just a little.
Well,
bit.
we know we only care about goals, and for me, it's like when I was playing baseball, right? Baseball, if you can just beat the pitcher one time during a game, you've won the battle. You've won. On a personal note, if you beat the pitcher one time a night, you've won. And if you beat the goalie one time a night, you've won. It doesn't have to be a goal. Maybe chirp him real good. Maybe give him a nice little run. Maybe he comes out to the blue line and tries to plow you. You sidestep him and he goes face first in the boards. You just have to get him once. And that's what you did tonight. You got him once. So I am here for the saga. The Frank and Jason saga. I'm here for it. I want to get things, sorted. You guys are still buddies, but I can still see there's some issues. I don't know why Frank came at you on the Lord's Day. I would assume it's because Chick-fil-A was closed and he was upset about that. I don't know. But good story. Frank, ball's in your court, bud. You got 15 hours of flights. You need to respond and let us know. As a matter of fact, we're going to be in Vegas. We're going to try to record something in person. Might as well get Frank in there.
Might as well. And I'm on the plane with him out there, so I'll make sure he listens to the podcast on the way to Vegas, and then we can go from there.
Okay, I'm down for it.
Turn it up. If you're digging the show, support us through patreon.com/theBLPA.
The most greatest.
So let's stay on the Vegas topic. We got the Vegas decks going to be electric. They always are. I'm super stoked about it. The newest rink in the Vegas area, it's in Henderson. It's called Lifeguard Arena. Right across the street, there's a hockey bar named Sticks Tavern. That's where we're having the draft experience party. I just have to ask you up front so we can know what we're working with. Is this potentially a drink so much you pass out in a urinal night, Jason?
It definitely will not be, unfortunately. We'll be bringing the significant other, the wife, with me. So she will probably make sure that I do not sleep in any urinals in Vegas, which is good because this is my first time in Vegas. And as we know, or as I've heard, things can get out of hand in Vegas. So it's probably good that I have somebody kind of, keeping the leash short while I'm out there.
Here's why else it's good to bring your spouse to the first one. She keeps you on a leash, and she just kind of thinks, oh, this is how it is when I'm not here too. And so she'll let you go to more. And then when you're not with her, you're off the leash,
And I'm sleeping in urinals.
Yeah, or next to him, whatever. So
whatever.
My one tip to you for your first trip to Vegas is don't be first night guy.
Okay.
A lot of people get out in Vegas, it's their first time, and they go fucking hard that first night, bud. They're out on the strip, they're fucking dancing in the fucking Bellagio fountain. I don't even know if you can, but they go by that fucking Fat Tuesday place, and they buy a 3-foot tall, sex on the beach, and they walk through the casinos drinking it, and then they're just ruined for the rest of the time they're there. So just, take it easy. Take in the sights, and win some money lining, and then play some good hockey. You think are you and Frank back on terms where you're going to try to be on the same team again in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, if he works some deals to make sure he gets me, then I'll happily play on the team. If he doesn't, he'll probably break my other wrist, and I'll be out another season for our league team. So
all right, we'll say I put you in the round behind me. then to get you, he basically has to pick me. You know what I'm
That
saying?
seems fair. I think we can. We can make that happen.
Because I'm not. I usually don't lose chug ride. I mean, there are people that are faster than me. I'm not saying I'm the fastest in the world, but I haven't seen one of those in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
maybe that's the play, or maybe we completely fuck him, and we put goalies at the end.
Oh, that's I'm not opposed to that.
He'll still be number one, but let the team pick the goalie. Who knows? The variety is the spice of life. So, but I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked about Vegas. And then I leave Vegas and I go to Phoenix for our golf tournament, which is it's a small affair, which I wanted to have the first one small because I'm just not sure how it's going to play out on the golf round, but I think it's going to be a good time. We got pub golf going on where we basically go drink at basically like a draft party, but each bar that we go to, little pub crawl, has a different drink, and that's our hole. And how many drinks it takes us to finish each drink is our score on that hole. And if you do things like if you go to the bathroom, obviously that's the water hazard, so you get a penalty there, and stuff like that. And so we're gonna do some fun stuff like that. So I'm super stoked about that. So I got an exciting couple of weekends coming up out of town, and then back home for a couple weeks, and our last one in L.A. And those LA jerseys are fucking badass, bud.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're super nice.
So bougie, so beer league, and so bougie. And then we start. I was just working on my new project, and I've been going through and booking a bunch of ice for next year. And boy, we're fucking packed up. Just fucking packed up, man.
Love it.
If there was a year where going to hockey tournaments was going to kill me because I went to so many, it's going to be next year for sure.
All right. Well, we'll miss you for sure if it does end up killing you.
Hey, okay, listen.
But we're going to be right there with you.
If I die doing a hockey tournament, if I die at all, I just have two requests. One, I want you to make my birthday like National Beer League Day forever.
Okay.
So every year on February 22nd, it's National Beer League Day. And two, I want a rink named after me, and I just want it to be called like the Nick. So all right, we're going to the decks at the Nick, So just keep those.
Those are both reasonable. Yeah, reasonable. Yeah. I think we can make that happen.
Yeah. So other than that, so I'm super stoked about Vegas. Super stoked about all that. What else is on the agenda, the old docket for us to chat about today?
I know you had some charity stuff going on that you were super proud of and should be. So let's talk about that.
Good catch, yeah. So okay, the BOPA was created just as a way to connect with players and build a community of like-minded individuals. The mission that we have for the BOPA is to connect the world with sport and make the world a better place by playing them. And I really enjoy the group that we have. I mean, it's good. You haven't seen it because you're not on Facebook, but there's 21,000 people in this group that are constantly just connecting with each other, chirping each other, making fun of each other, helping people, and then supporting people. And here in the last couple months, we've had a couple of situations where the crew has just kind of stepped up and just floored me, really. The first one, and I don't know if you heard about this one, Jason, but there was a kid goalie that had ordered some custom pads, and he sent them back to get them fixed because something happened with them. And when the company sent them back, they didn't get tracking, and they were lost. Still haven't found them. And someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, this kid, like he's a goalie. This is what happened. Just wanted can you kind of toss that out on the page that this is what happened?" I said, "I'll do you one better. We'll see if we can raise some money and see if we can help him replace the pads." And literally in 12 hours, we had the pads paid for. And we just bought him a whole brand new set. And so we thought that was pretty cool, helping kids. And then probably about mid-September-ish, I got a message from a buddy that I play with. He's played in our Charleston draft experiences. His name is Bruce. He's a hell of a guy. His beer league team are the Gritties, and they have really awesome jerseys. Obviously, they have Gritty, but he's a great guy, and he just kind of told me, "Hey, man, you might want to drop me down a couple rounds. I have cancer. I got diagnosed with cancer, and I'm starting my treatment, and it's weighing on me. I'm still gonna play, but just not sure." And I was like, damn, that sucks. And so I was like, we got to do something for Bruce. So I talked it over with the crew, at the BOPA, and we just made a post and said, here's the deal. Obviously, cancer sucks. We hate it. It sucks when it affects people we love. And right now we have a guy that is a huge BOPA supporter. He's getting ready to go through treatment. He has not asked for anything, but I think it'd be cool if we could try to raise some money for him. So here's what we'll do. We'll buy a beer for Bruce. And if you want to buy a beer, you can Venmo the BLPA. And all the beers that we buy Bruce, we'll send that money to him, and he can use it for his treatment, or he can use it to buy a bunch of beer. Whatever Bruce wants to do for cancer. And obviously he chose his treatment. But we raised like $2,600 in 48 hours for Bruce. And I was just yeah, I was just like, holy shit, what is going on here? And then, unfortunately, someone that's part of our staff, their sister passed away. She had some addiction issues and unfortunately passed away due to those. And, he had mentioned to me in passing, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, this is hard. Like, in the financial situation that I'm in, I just don't know, how I'm going to be able to cover, the stuff for her. And we got to talking. I love this guy. And it's Jeff Peck. Most of you guys know Pecky Boy. And so I didn't even use the group. I just reached out to people in the group that I knew have played with Peck and liked Peck, and they're in the group. I said, hey, we want to do this as a BLPA initiative. We just want to kind of help with all the stuff that comes with losing a family member and having that financial burden passed on to you. And we legitimately paid for the memorial service within 24 hours.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here. I'm trying to pat the BLPA on the back and say, this is an incredible group of people that are out there that are buying into what's being created. And that's just a group of people that legitimately care about each other for no other reason than we just enjoy playing the same sports. And that to me is just fucking phenomenal, really incredible, mind blowing. And to me, it's how do we do this more? Because right now we're not even focusing on charity and we're doing charity. There has to be a way where we can make it more official. Maybe it's starting a nonprofit and just doing BLPA charity stuff all the time. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be awesome. And man, all three of those are awesome, amazing stories. And don't surprise me in the least. Because, anytime anyone asks me about DEX, BLPA in general, the first thing I always say is it's like a family event. Like everyone becomes kind of a family. And that's the way it feels when you're at these events. So, not surprised at all that everyone showed out like that and helped those causes.
I really like to not use the family thing. I like to use a cult. We're a cult, actually.
Okay. There you go.
So you join. Yep. I'm kind of the leader of the cult. Eventually, one day, I'm going to ask everyone to drink the Kool-Aid. But it's good because the Kool-Aid is beer, so it works. Right. So, but no, it's an incredible thing to be a part of, and to as one person looking out and seeing all these guys come together, guys and girls. Guys is just a term of endearment, not trying to not include people, but to see this whole group of people just kind of come together to help individuals that some of them haven't even met is just absolutely it's great. It's crazy, and I hope we keep doing really cool stuff. And the only hard part about this, Jason, is I'm a bleeding heart. I want to help people, and I kind of like a sad story, and I'm just like I want to help, but the hard part is I can't do it for everything that comes up, right? Like we obviously when people see this, like I get a lot of messages saying, "Hey, we have this, can we help?" And I want to help everyone. I would love to, but it's just not possible. And if you do it all the time, if you're doing it all the time and every day it's a different thing, I think it becomes less impactful, really.
Sure.
So, but
yeah, anyway. and that makes sense for sure. You're one guy, so it's tough to help everybody else.
Yeah, I'm one guy, but I mean we do have a big group. I mean there's a lot of people in there. It's not just me that wants to help. Everyone wants to help, but it's hard to help everyone, right? I mean,
right.
We've had a lot of worthy causes, and it's just like what do you do? Like, how do you do? Like, they're not connected to this group. Like the kid that's a goalie, sure, he wasn't connected with the group, but his parents were in the group, so I could see kind of helping that. We also did the charity decks in Chicago where we raised a bunch of money for the kid with cancer, and so we try to do what we can. And if you contact me and you ask me to help, I'll probably say you can post it in the group, but don't be upset if I can't make it happen like it happened, with the organic stuff the rest of the way. I'd love to, but it is hard. But it is a great group. I'm so super stoked to be a part of it, and thank everyone that's listening here and that's in the group. You guys are fucking rad and phenomenal. I love you guys. Thank you very much. And so that's that. Maybe we'll be able to do some more philanthropic charity stuff in 2022. Looking forward to that. I mean, we got a lot of hockey. We might as well put some charity stuff in there too, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, what's next? We're going to talk about GoPros.
The BLPA Big Show, coming to you live from a locker room or parking lot near you for the game with a beer at BLPA Big Show.
Yeah, I think you want to talk about a rep that had a hard on for you or something like that.
All of them do, bud. But did I tell you that I was just going through? I'm trying to like get all my content cleaned out and all that stuff on my computer, and I was going through like old videos, and I found a video of Frank. I should play it if I can pull it and get on this thing. I'll play it. But basically, it's Frank saying that I'm a very loving individual and I'd never do anything rude and mean, and that ref in Chicago did call him a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, I was there too.
Yeah.
I also am witness to the motherfucker. So.
Yeah, so it's just refs in general, and I try to keep a cool head. I wasn't even really playing in this tournament, but I played 2 periods for Team BLPA because they were short players in the first game. And in the group, I was making a joke because someone said, "Oh, your YouTube channel," and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're real relevant in or we're almost relevant in YouTube because we had like 400 subscribers and like 1,200 hours watched, but you have to have like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours." So I was making a joke, and someone was like, "You know how to get those numbers up is just stream yourself playing hockey with a GoPro." And I was like, ugh. Live? Like live? And they're like, yeah, live. And I was like, I don't know. But hey, I'm a man of the people. So I went out and got a GoPro and put it on my helmet, and I was learning how to, set it up to do a live stream. And the refs were like, you can't have that GoPro. I'm like, what? And like, yeah, we, tournaments don't allow it. We don't allow it. I'm like, tournaments don't allow it. And he's like, yeah, no. I'm like, well, I think they do. And he's like, no, we could talk to the tournament director. And I'm like, yeah, I am the tournament director. And it's just marketing for the company. He's like, yeah, we just don't allow it. USA Hockey. And I was like, what? We're not USA Hockey certified. So we don't follow those rules. And I just wondered, like, what's the big deal? Like, why do refs not want players to wear GoPros? One point, when I worked for a league here, I was wearing one every day for January to promote heart attack and stroke prevention. And the company knew I was doing it, and the refs were like, you can't do it. You can't have anything stuck onto your helmet that didn't come with the helmet. And I was like, well, what about all those stickers you have on your helmet, like that poppy sticker for veterans, which I'm not against, but I'm just like, how can you tell me I can't stick anything on my helmet, but you have stickers all over your helmet? And then they're, oh, well, someone could get hurt. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It could fall off. I get that. But there has to be a real reason. And here's what I've decided is the reason. And I'll tell you why I've decided it's the reason.
Right.
Leagues don't want it because they don't want players sending in videos of missed calls.
That makes sense to me.
100%.
There's already that going on with Live Barn. Like,
yep.
I know here personally in Nashville that people have. I was on the receiving end of a suspension that was not warranted, and they had used Live Barn video to get me suspended. So I could see GoPros being even more of a problem for tournament directors or league directors.
And the reason why is because when I was doing 31 days of hockey, there was a play and it was a little dangerous. Like a guy like fell down and thought he got body checked, and the dude was like kind of standing over him. I guess he was saying, "Are you okay?" And he tomahawk chopped this guy in the head, and then dropped the stick, and the play went on, and our guy fell down, and like there was no penalty called, and the refs were right there. And for me, like working for the league, like I just said, hey guys, like this happened in the game. I just want everyone to be kind of cognizant of what was going on, and I am curious why it wasn't called, but this is what happened. And they flipped the fuck out. Why would you send this in? Blah blah. And then the refs jumped on me and were like, this is bullshit. We no more GoPros. You can't do it. And I was just like, well, the refs don't want it because the refs do miss calls. Like we know that. That's not something that is a mystery to anybody. But I think that they don't want to be told that they miss calls. They don't want to see that they miss calls. And I think that they get offended by that a bit.
For sure.
And
that makes sense.
And for me, like I wasn't even trying to say, hey, this guy needs to be suspended. I was just saying, hey, like if this comes back, like this is what happened. It wasn't called. Like it was right here. Obviously, the guy tomahawk chopped the dude in the head. And, maybe we should, ask the ref about it and see what he says. And it turned into this whole big rigmarole, which is a great word, by the way. And it basically ended to where you can't wear GoPros on the ice anymore in this league. And I just thought, wow, I get it. I get why the league doesn't want it because I don't think people understand how much shit people that run leagues get from players on a regular basis in terms of things that fucked up, things that were missed, things that, oh, I pay good money for this league and this is what I get. Like it's an everyday thing. And now to add video on it, I get it. But I kind of felt like it was more of the refs didn't want to be told that they miss calls. That's how I felt, which is okay. And refs miss calls. I know they do. They know they do. And they have every right to not want to do that. But I just thought it was a little shitty to try to, nix me out of doing a charity event where I'm, marketing the league because they missed a call, right?
Yeah, that does seem silly, especially in, like you said, it's a charity tournament. Like this isn't that serious. Not that beer league in general should be that serious, but we all know beer league is very serious to some people. So
did we talked last year or last week about people accusing me as a tournament director of changing the rules so my team could get into the championships?
We did.
Yeah, bullshit, man. I'm still so pissed about it, and I'm still dealing with the yahoos that didn't get in. That just like it's a stupid rule, blah blah blah. And I'm like, but it's the rule. Like it's not like it's not like it was like okay, it's the rule, and now we're changing it, and then one guy said we were the best team in the tournament. We didn't even make the championship game, and my response to him was, if you were the best team, you could have won all 3 games and not had to worry about the tiebreaker.
There is no tiebreaker.
For me, it's, you're bitching about it, but your team was in control to not have to deal with a tiebreaker. And I will also admit something here, because I'm the type of guy that I don't think I'm always right. I think I'm right most of the time. But in this, it's the same way, like in Columbus, we did least goal differential was the tiebreaker. Because my reasoning was, we're trying to take like the dickery out of sports. And so if we do the least tiebreaker, people won't try to run up the score. And so I thought, you know what, that we did it. It didn't really work. We're going to try something new. I was wrong. So this time I went to lowest penalty minutes, and maybe I was still wrong, I think. And I don't think there's a perfect way to do it, but what I've now come up with is an algorithm that I think in the next bash is going to make a lot more sense. But I did run the algorithm on this 3-way tie, and it still ended up in the way that it ended up at the thing. So I guess maybe it does. I don't know. But anyway, so people do take the game serious, and I get it. People are traveling in. They want to win team tournaments. But you're right. Beer league shouldn't be that serious. But nonetheless, the story about GoPros came up because I now have a GoPro, and I'm just going to live stream. I'm going to live stream my games, I guess. I guess I got to find other people to live stream too. No one wants to watch just me motoring around the ice. And no one wants to just hear my chirps and so maybe we'll put it on like some goal scorers occasionally and let people see goals. But it'll be live, so that'll be fun.
Well, if you need a goal scorer, I've been crowned goal scorer by Frank, so
okay,
I'm happy to do it for you.
Okay, hey, I appreciate that you would take one for the team. Okay, well, is there anything else to talk about before we do this final thoughts?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, here's what I'm thinking. We need to make an outrageous bet in Vegas just to see if it hits.
Okay.
And then we can brag about being geniuses if it does. And
Listen, I'm always down for gambling, so
okay.
You had me at we should make a bet.
Okay, well, I don't know what we're going to bet on, but we're going to find something. We're going to be money lining all weekend in Vegas. Hopefully, you guys, there's still some spots available, so if you want to money line with us, come money line with us. Once we run out of the money, we might end up at the Rhino. I don't know. I don't know what your significant others are into. If they're into, rhinos, I know where we can go see some.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes, and I won't hold my breath.
Well, hey, listen. You know what they have at the Rhino? You know what they have? A fucking lot of too. Like so many of them. It would be
mirrors.
Yep. And your wife loves mirrors, and this is a house of mirrors.
A good mirror for sure.
It's a house of mirrors. Yeah. That's what the Rhino is. So, so maybe we'll get together and see what happens. And other than that, I think it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend, my friend.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you, buddy.
Live. Well, I won't be a live. Maybe we will do. Maybe we'll go Facebook Live with a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, the world is our oyster, so
really it is.
Let's not promise anything now. Let's just let it happen organically, and we'll see what happens.
No, but I love to overpromise and underdeliver, so I would love to make some promises. So, but other than that, listen, we didn't wait 2.5 weeks in between recording, so we got it going for you. We might fuck around and do a weekly recording. You never know with us.
Never know.
You never know. So other than that, guys, hey. Have a good week, and try to do something nice for your tournament provider. If you come to my tournaments, I would love for you to do something nice for me, not to me, for me. And and if you have a league provider, instead of sending them that shitty ass email where you're yelling at them, just send them an email that says, you know what, I appreciate everything you do to allow me to play beer league hockey. I love you.
Yeah.
Bye. That's what the emails should say. And you know what? They would feel so fucking good. They would open that like Wednesday morning. They open it up and they're like, "Holy shit. I really appreciate that." You never know, it might help you with scheduling in the future is all I'm saying.
It's true. Nice little attaboy goes a long way.
It does. A little butt smack and you're on your way. All right, guys. Well, hey, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the Jason and Frank drama. Go follow us. You can follow us at the BLPA. You can follow him at Beer League Jason. You can follow me at Knicker Jones on Twitter, the Knicker Jones on Instagram. And as always, be good or be good at it. All right, buddy. Good episode.
All right.
Good episode.
Yep.
Good episode. We'll get with Frank. I'll see if I can. I know I have 3 mics. I'll bring 3 mics. We'll plug them shits in, and we'll just sit around and bullfuck with each other.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, man. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Later, bud.
All right, bye.